So hello everyone, I am Stable Voltage Development and welcome to a sort of update video in relation to my experience with DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve version 20 has come out recently, and funnily enough, the exact same day that I uploaded my DaVinci Resolve video, DaVinci Resolve 20 came out pretty much on the exact same day.
Coincidence? I think not!
But thankfully, DaVinci Resolve 20 actually does have what was missing in the version that I was talking about in that video. And the thing that I'm talking about is I've got this random project that I decided to whip up out of nowhere, and I've got the audio down quite a bit because I don't want it to be blasting in your ear, even though I would be turning down the audio in the editing anyway. But first, what I want to show you is what this was lacking beforehand. So I'm just gonna put like a random isolated area here, and let's go ahead and do like a simple zoom. So let's go ahead and let's put the position over to, actually, yeah, I think maybe let's put the position over to here, and then let's do a zoom. So let's put a keyframe there, and then let's just go into, wait, hang on, that is pretty long, isn't it? That is a bit long. Okay, so we're gonna zoom into here, so let's just zoom, and let's just actually change the anchor point, because apparently you have to do that in DaVinci Resolve to, you know, put the position and zooming it in, especially with this transform. If you've got like a transform here, you can then do the zoom and position, but when it comes to the default transform, when you're zooming in, apparently you have to use anchor point to change the position, because it likes you doing that way. I don't know why. So okay, we've got a zoom there, and yeah, okay, so it just zooms like that. So now, usually you would just you know, right click and then do ease in, or you go into your timeline and find, well, there is nothing there, because instead we've actually got a keyframes tab right here, and we've actually got a timeline right here, which is actually pretty neat, and you can even move it along like that, which is also really neat. But also we have a button in the corner right here which is called keyframes curve, and it gives us this, which is quite similar to the spline editor that you get in the Fusion page, which is very neat. Now, because this is actually currently in beta, it's not the full version, it's just a beta. I think it's like the first beta version before the official stable release of 20 comes out. So it's gonna be a bit buggy at first, but because obviously it's very tiny over here, and you want to like zoom in, right? So what you would need to do is go over to this over, what's this? Detailed zoom. Why it does not do that to begin with is beyond me. But okay, we have that. So what we want, or what I want actually, is to have the smooth zoom in, right? And as I showed you in the previous video, it was very difficult to do that, especially in the editor page. But here we are in the editor page. So let's go ahead and just click on that. And I think, wait, is it right click? No, okay. So we've got these buttons over here. So we've got ease in and out, ease out, and just linear. So what I want is ease in, and it just does it like that. Simple as that. So now let's go ahead and actually let's go into the parameters, because we've only got one of them ticked and we want both of them ticked. So let's just do that. And then, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to untick this, and do the same thing. There we go. So it's very, very important that you've got these sort of parameters because it's showing you what is already keyframed. Because you can have like multiple items. Because actually, if I show you, you can have all video parameters, like all of this from, what can be keyframeable, but it's just easier to have display parameters with keyframes so that it's less cluttered. So that's really, really good. So now, we've got this curve. Now, you could easily just, drag this around like that, but something really, really neat with DaVinci Resolve number 20 is that it's taken what I didn't actually think you could do in the spline editor in Fusion into the edit page, and that is using the shift modifier. So holding down shift and then dragging this, you can actually drag it on the horizontal, and it's locked on the horizontal. I'm trying to go down, but you can't go down, so it's locked onto the horizontal axis, which is what I wanted. So now let's just go over to here, and it's going off screen. So okay, hang on. Zoom out. Now zoom in. Yeah, okay, so that should be fine. Okay, so now let's go over to, and I think that's fine. So let's see how that is. I mean, it does have a smooth zoom. I mean, it also has a bit of a slow at the start and then slow at the end. Well, it's a little bit slow at the start, then goes faster, but then slows down at the end. So I don't think it's quite there just yet, but it's getting there. Now, another thing that I wanted to show with this, because it's beta, I wanted to also share my experience with the beta version, because I think this is my first time experiencing a beta form of an editing software, because I downloaded 19.1.3 before this, so it was a fairly stable version, but it wasn't in beta form like this is. So I wanted to also share that I don't know if this is a bug, but it's certainly something that I've been experiencing. And because I usually edit with my headphones on, and I've got separate audio outputs, so this is an audio output and my monitor is another audio output, and sometimes when I open up the project, it defaults to my monitor audio output, but when I go into the preferences and go over to video and I/O, the output device is my headphones and not my monitor. So I found that if I just go over to my monitor and then click on it and then click back onto speakers and then save it, that solves that issue. And it's just a minor inconvenience, but I think it's a bug, but I'm not entirely sure. Now I don't know if this is another bug, but it's another thing that I've been experiencing. Let's say, for example, I want to fade between this clip and this one, or I want to at least have a transition, not necessarily a crossfade, but just a transition. So let's go ahead and go over to a random transition. Let's go to normal transition. So let's go for mosaic, maybe. Yeah, sure, mosaic. So for some reason you cannot apply a transition over it. Now, I don't know if this has always been like this, but something that I like about another editing software that I use, not as much as Premiere or Resolve, but it's an editing software that I've downloaded and have been using, and it's called CapCut. In CapCut, if you do a transition, so let's just go for a basic one, like a pull in maybe, or like a shake left, maybe left actually. So let's go ahead and zoom in, and we've got basically the same setup as in Resolve. So it's 2 clips, and let's go ahead and put in a left, and let's just put it on. Now, as you can see, it's applied it, and let's just do maybe like a second. Yeah, let's just do a second, and as you can see, it has applied it. So let's go ahead. It has applied it. Simple like that. But with DaVinci Resolve, it's not that simple apparently. And there is a workaround that I have found out. It's unfortunate you have to do it this way, and the fact that CapCut just does it by itself is a bit strange. But the workaround that I have found is let's just cut here, and let's just cut here, and now let's just create a compound clip. It doesn't really matter what you name it, and find where it changes. So like there. So then create a cut here, and now apply the mosaic, and there you go. It creates a transition. Actually, let's just make that longer. So yeah, 5, why not? So I mean, that's a bit quick, but as you can see, it's applied the transition. And I wish that even with, okay, let's just go backward a bit. So let's just get rid of that compound clip, and I just wish that if you use an adjustment clip. And another thing that I found is why is it that, okay, so you can do that. Okay, that's weird, because like when I've been editing my videos of Resolve, when I've got like a bunch, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try and show you. So let's just make a bunch of these, and make a bunch of these as well. I'm literally just trying to show you what I mean rather than tell you what I mean. And let's just get the adjustment clip, and as you can see, you can't see it on the timeline, can you? You literally, well, you can, but it's a bit like glitchy, and it's so weird. Okay, so for some reason you have to add a track, then scroll up, and then no, you still can't. Okay, so let's just add yet another track, and then we can like scroll up by holding pressing down the mouse click and just move up. So here we have another track, and now put the adjustment clip, and just like that you can see it on the timeline. So for some reason, when you have like a bunch of clips like this stacked up, and you want to add an adjustment clip above, you have to create 2 tracks above, scroll up, and then put an adjustment clip. I don't know if it's always been like that, but I feel like I've noticed that in Resolve 20 and not necessarily in Resolve 19. So maybe that is a new bug in 20 that hopefully gets resolved in the stable version. I don't know, but that's definitely something I've been experiencing. And why is it that when you make a cut in between adjustment clips, why is it that you can't put a transition over the adjustment clip? Because obviously it's just a clip and you've made a cut in it. So if I put like a random transition, so let's go back to transitions and put like circles, maybe crash zoom, yeah, why not? Okay, so you can't apply one over the adjustment clip. You just can't, and I don't know why, because in Premiere Pro you can do that. You have an adjustment clip, you cut in between, or you make a cut inside of the adjustment clip to make a transition. You can do that. You can apply the transition. Why you can't do that here is like beyond me, and I feel like Premiere Pro is a bit ahead of DaVinci Resolve in this case, or maybe it's always been like that with DaVinci Resolve, I don't know, but it's just either it's something to do with DaVinci Resolve 20, or it's always been like that. And if it's always been like that, it's questionable why it's like that. I mean, it's nice that you can apply whatever effects you... Well, a lot of people who edit with DaVinci Resolve say that, oh, you can just apply literally any effect to your adjustment clip. Technically, that's false. Because if we just go to our toolbox and type in transform, and of course it doesn't appear up because I haven't clicked on all folders. Let's go ahead and find the transform. Okay, so I have it favorited. Wait, what does Aces transform mean? I have no idea. But anyway, let's go ahead and apply, we'll try at least to apply the transform over to the adjustment clip. It's worked now. And that's interesting, because I've tried this before and it would not apply. So that is very, very interesting. But also another thing about adjustment clips, why is it that when you have an adjustment clip, say for example you want to fade out all of the clips below your adjustment clip, why is it that you can't just do that? Because in Premiere Pro, if you apply an adjustment clip, if you bring in an adjustment clip and then apply the transform to it, the transform has an opacity, and you can just turn down the opacity, and it turns down the opacity of everything underneath the adjustment clip. But why it does not do that here is like absolutely beyond me. Okay, you know what? Hang on. So Aces transform. I don't even know what this is. So Aces transform. I have no idea what. I have absolutely no idea what this. Okay, color space transform. But okay, you know what? Let's get rid of that. So, color space. I will admit I've never actually used these, so I have no idea what they are. But why is it that the transform only has like position controls and not an opacity? I mean, okay, it makes sense that. Okay, you know what? Let's just try composite. Composition. I mean, it would be nice if we were able to just bring down the opacity for every clip underneath the adjustment clip. But just like before, that I showed you about making a compound clip, let's just do that. So go over to here, and then let's just make a compound clip of all of these. Why not? So now we can now bring down the opacity here. Yeah, so just like that, you can do that. So it would be nice if Resolve could do these. I mean, okay, it's different software and different software does different things, but especially because you're coming over from Premiere Pro, it would be nice if you could just do these things. But because there are workarounds, I'm not like too fussed about it. But yeah. Oh, there's one more thing that I need to talk about, and that is keyframing and timelines and frame rates as well. So it's a little bit difficult for me to actually show you this, so I'm going to try to explain it. So because we've got our timeline here, which is called timeline 1, and we can also create a brand new timeline and call it whatever we want and put it in the format of like 60 or 30 or whatever. And you can also like bring in your timeline, your previous timeline, into the new timeline, and it would be in a different frame rate. So that is pretty neat. But something that I've experienced is that whenever I create keyframe animation with the curving and stuff like that, and when I bring the timeline into the new timeline to change the frame rate, because I like to edit with 30 frames. I've been doing that for like so many years, and I want to export in 60 frames. So I put the 30 frames timeline into the 60 frames timeline, so then that should work, right? So then I export the project, and then in the final result I find out that not all of my keyframes, but some of my keyframes have been removed, making the video look a little weird in places. So I don't know if this is a bug all around, I don't know, or because it should copy every single thing in that timeline to the new timeline, right? It should do that. So I don't know if it's just a bug and people are already aware of it and Resolve is trying to resolve that bug, but it's been frustrating dealing with that because it's making me feel like I need to just get used to editing in 60 frames, which I suppose I can, but it would be nice if this is a bug, then okay, I'll just wait for the stable version to come out and hopefully that bug will be fixed. But if it's not a bug, then I'm not entirely sure why that happens, because you'd think that just copying or cutting your clips would retain everything inside of that clip and inside of that timeline, right? But this is happening and it is frustrating. So yeah, I think that is about it for my experience with DaVinci Resolve 20 so far. I mean, if I have any other issues or if I have anything else to share, or if I find out anything else that I want to share, then I may add it onto the video. But if not, then I'll upload the video. And if I find out anything else, then I may make like an add-on video, maybe. I don't know. But for now, thanks for watching, everyone. And I comment I hope you all enjoyed, because I don't think this will be entertaining. But I hope this was like informative in some shape or form. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.